The key word in project management is management. It is your job to make sure that everything is where it needs to be when it needs to be there. If you look at the tenets or the core baselines in project management, you're always looking at scope, schedule, budget. As one changes, it changes the other two. Your job is to constantly make sure that those three things are in balance. You got to manage the people to make sure that the technical part is done and stays in balance, because it's not going to be the techniques. It's not your Excel sheet. Is getting the people, get to the numbers, get the stuff done that needs to get done.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. That is without doubt the science part of project management. The other two skill areas that I think are necessary fall into what you were referring to as the softer side. And the second one's the ability to manage your stakeholders. This really is a skill that develops over time. And one of the things that you do as a project manager that helps manage your stakeholders is manage expectations. By doing that effectively, you gain the credibility and the confidence of those that you're working with and working for. If I'm effectively managing expectations, I'm doing a couple things. I'm consistently looking at my schedule, my scope, and my budget. I'm understanding the dynamics of this project in such a way that I know all of the moving parts. You may not recognize that there is a potential for a slippage, and therefore you hit that date or you slide past that date and you have not reached out. That sends the opposite message. That detracts from your credibility. So that second area of working with and getting your stakeholders engaged is another critical skill. The third one is communications. And it sort of aligns with managing your stakeholders. And at the end of the day, if you present those in a clear and concise way, that adds to your credibility.
I'm a little different in my approach, because when I have a project, a lot of the times I am looking at who it is that I'm dealing with, who are my primary people that I need to manage. So I've got upper management that are basically, they're behind the business case, they see the need. You've got the people in the field who need to do work for you. You need to coordinate all of them. There's a line there when you're working with the people in the field of expectations on what they can execute. I look at the feasibility of execution as well as the expectations of deliverables, and have those lines of communication open at all times. I have regular daily stand ups. When I've got a bigger project, it's a daily stand up. And we've taken over one of our philosophies. What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? And how can I help you to make sure things are on track? These are the things that need to get done to keep the project on track.
You're describing sort of a third element of that. I'll call it a stakeholder pool. You described that stand up meeting, right? That's in effect a communications tool. It's a way to stay connected to your team and your resources. It's a way to ensure that what we accomplished yesterday enables you to stay on track today. And then what are the resources that you need going forward? So to me, we're kind of talking about the same thing, and it kind of fits into these, what I would characterize as your three key success areas: schedule, scope, and budget. That's kind of the science part of it. The second one is effective management of your stakeholders, and then that third area, which is effective communication or presenting your information or your status.
Yeah, I think we're going to, in some cases also, is the tactical and strategic. As the manager, need to keep those pieces in place as well as keep the strategic vision that your management has. You're looking at big picture, little picture all the time, I think is what you need to do.